The front door slammed so hard the framed wedding photo on the hallway wall jumped off its nail and shattered on the hardwood. I stood in the dark kitchen, phone still in my hand, the screen glowing with the last text she'd never meant for me to see. He makes me feel alive. You're replaceable. Never forget that. My pulse hammered in my ears like a war drum. 10 years of marriage, 2 kids asleep upstairs, and she'd typed those words to another man while I was folding her laundry. I didn't scream. I didn't throw the phone. I just stared at the jagged glass on the floor and felt something inside me crack along the same fault line. Sarah came in 20 minutes later, heels clicking, perfume trailing like a lie. She flicked on the light and froze when she saw the shards. Jesus, David, what happened? I turned the phone so she could read her own betrayal. Her face drained of color faster than I'd ever seen. It's not what you think, she started, voice trembling the way it used to when she lied about smoking in college. But this wasn't a cigarette hidden in a sock drawer. This was her heart, handed to someone else on a silver platter. Read it out loud, I said. My voice sounded like it belonged to a stranger. Flat, cold, final. She shook her head, lips parting, but no sound came. The silence stretched until it snapped. I was angry, she whispered. I didn't mean. Angry. I laughed, a sound like breaking ice. You told him I'm replaceable. Like I'm a part in a machine you can swap out when it wears down. I stepped over the glass, closer to her. Say it to my face, Sarah. Tell me I'm replaceable. Her eyes filled, but the tears looked practiced. You work all the time. You forgot my birthday. You. Stop. I held up a hand. Don't rewrite history to justify this. I scrolled further. The messages went back months. Hotel receipts. Inside jokes. Pet names I'd never earned. Every word was a blade sliding between my ribs, slow and deliberate. Upstairs, Mia coughed in her sleep. The sound cut through the rage like a lifeline. Our daughter. Our son. The life we'd built on promises now rotting from the inside. Sarah reached for me. We can fix this. Counseling. I'll end it. I swear. I stepped back. Her fingers clutched air. You ended it the moment you typed those words. My throat burned. Pack a bag. You're out tonight. Her face crumpled. David, please. The kids. The kids will have a father who isn't a doormat. The words tasted like rust. I'd never spoken to her like this. Never imagined I could. But the man who'd begged her to stay after every fight, who'd swallowed pride like medicine, was gone. In his place stood someone I barely recognized. Someone who'd finally learned the price of being replaceable. She ran upstairs. I heard drawers slamming, sobs muffled against pillows. I didn't follow. Instead, I opened my laptop and started typing the divorce papers. The cursor blinked like a heartbeat. Asset division. Custody. The cold legalese felt like armor. When she came down with the duffel, her eyes were red, mascara streaked like war paint. Where am I supposed to go? Anywhere but here. I handed her an envelope with cash and the spare key to her sister's place. Don't come back without a lawyer. She lingered at the door, one hand on the frame. I loved you once, she said, voice breaking. I just forgot how. The door closed softly behind her. No slam this time. Just the quiet click of a chapter ending. I swept up the glass, each shard catching the light like a tiny mirror reflecting the wreckage. Then I sat on the couch, head in my hands, and let the tears come. Not for her. For the man I used to be, the one who believed love was unbreakable, who thought forever was a promise, not a suggestion. Morning came gray and heavy. The kids stumbled down for breakfast, confused by the empty chair at the table. Where's Mommy? Ethan asked, rubbing sleep from his eyes. I poured cereal with steady hands. She had to go on a trip. We'll talk tonight. The lie sat bitter on my tongue, but some truths were too sharp for little hearts. That afternoon I met with the lawyer. The office smelled of coffee and old paper. He slid forms across the desk. Irreconcilable differences? He asked. Adultery, I corrected. The word felt like spitting out poison. He nodded, no judgment. You'll want to file for emergency custody. Evidence helps. I handed over the phone records, the hotel charges, the screenshots. Watching him read them was like reliving the knife twist, but slower. Days blurred. Sarah texted apologies, then anger, then bargaining. I made a mistake. He meant nothing. We can start over. I didn't reply. Each unanswered message was a brick in the wall I built around what was left of me. The kids asked questions I deflected with ice cream and movie nights. Mia drew a picture of our family. Stick figures holding hands, Mommy's face scratched out with black crayon. She didn't say why. She didn't have to. One night, Ethan crawled into my bed, small hand on my cheek. "Are you sad, Daddy?" "Yep," I said, honest for once. "But sad doesn't last forever." He nodded solemnly like he understood. Maybe he did. Kids see more than we think. The divorce moved fast. Sarah fought for the house, then the dog, then weekend visitation. In court, she wore the navy dress from our honeymoon. I wondered if it was strategy or penance. Didn't matter. The judge's gavel fell like a guillotine. Final hearing. The courtroom smelled of lemon polish and tension. Sarah's lawyer painted her as stressed, overworked human. Mine laid out the affair like a crime scene. When it was my turn to speak, I looked straight at her. "I loved you with everything I had," I said. "You taught me that wasn't enough." My voice didn't waver. "But it's enough for my kids. And it's enough for me now." The judge granted joint custody, primary residence with me. Sarah sobbed into a tissue. I felt nothing. Not vindication. Not relief. Just the hollow space where trust used to live. Outside, the sky opened up, rain washing the city clean. I stood under the awning, letting it soak my shirt. A year ago, I'd have run for cover. Now, I tilted my face to the storm and let it baptize the ashes. That night, I hung a new photo in the hallway. No frame, just a simple print of me and the kids at the zoo, laughing with ice cream smeared on our chins. The glass wouldn't shatter. The moment was ours alone. Sarah moved 3 states away with him eventually. The kids came back from visits quieter, but they always ran to me first. I learned to cook spaghetti without burning it. I coached soccer. I cried in the shower where they couldn't hear. Some nights I still woke reaching for her side of the bed. The sheets were cold, but they were mine. The house was quieter, but it echoed with new sounds. Ethan's video games, Mia's piano practice, my own laughter surprising me in the mirror. I wasn't healed. Some wounds scar deep. But I was standing. I was enough. And on the nights when doubt whispered replaceable, I looked at my children's drawings taped to the fridge and remembered. Love isn't a promise kept. It's a choice made every single day. The front door stayed locked now. Not out of fear but ownership. This was my home. My life. My heart finally irreparably unbreakable.